Happy Friday, Lee County. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Live with LCSO. I'm Public Information Officer Julie Martin.
And I'm Nestor Montoya. This man, Adrian Villamontes, said he was in town from Miami to go to the Edison Mall, but he used a stolen car to get here.
Our deputies located this stolen vehicle at a gas station in Fort Myers, but it had been reported stolen out of Miami the day before. Villamontes says he was traveling to Fort Myers to go to the Edison Mall to shop at GameStop, but he didn't get to his destination before getting a courtesy ride to the Marcino Motel. He was arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle.
Check out this video from our Marine unit. Deputies were notified of an injured manatee that was struck by a boat near Fort Myers Beach. Our Marine unit, with the help of surrounding agencies, rescued the manatee and transported her to Zoo Tampa.
They say the manatee had air in her lungs, which made it impossible to go under the water for food. She's in critical condition, but zoo members say she is eating.
We first told you about this incident earlier this week. 3 people were arrested in connection to this video that shows 2 men attacking a disabled victim. Many of you asked questions on our social media, and we're here to answer them. Julie, someone asked about their bond, what it was set at, and why they were released.
Yes, 17-year-old Armando Cruz and 18-year-old Jeremiah Perez were both arrested for battery on a disabled adult. Their bond was set by a judge at $5,000, and each arrestee has a right to a bond. And the judge takes criminal history, flight risk, and risk to the public into consideration when setting that bond. Once set, anyone can come to the jail and pay that amount to bond someone out. And Nestor, one person who was arrested was actually a minor.
Yeah, Julie, that person was actually charged with accessory after the fact for recording the video. Someone had asked what happens to her since she's underage. Well, she was taken to the Lee County Jail where she was booked into the Juvenile Assessment Center. A screening process then takes place to determine if the minor will be placed in secure detention, home detention, or released to their parents.
And lastly, many of you wanted to know how this arrest was made, and it was because of you. Our sheriff's office was tagged in the video online, and through the hard work by our detectives and deputies on the streets, we were able to identify the suspects in that video and make the arrests.
If you've taken a look at Crime Stopper's 10 Most Wanted list, there's one face that has been pretty consistent over the years. His name is Troy Bolin, and he's accused of raping a young girl over the course of several years. He's the longest standing fugitive on our 10 Most Wanted list, and he's going to stay right there until the day he's found. Bolin was about as two-faced as a person could be. On the surface, he played the role of a helpful friend and even preached Bible study to neighborhood children. But behind closed doors, he was nothing short of a monster and devastated the life of a little girl by sexually abusing her for years. He's also accused of molesting a second female who was just a few years older. When the charges came to light, Bolin bolted and hasn't been seen since. He's a shrimper by trade and could have hopped on a boat, but there's also been rumors that he fled to North Georgia. However, at this point, all leads have run dry, but our search for him will continue in hopes that at some point he comes up for air and finally gets to have his day in court. If you know where Bolin or any wanted fugitive is hiding, you can call Crime Stoppers 24/7 at 1-800-780-TIPS. Your call will always remain anonymous, and if your tip leads to an arrest, we'll pay a cash reward of up to $3,000. Like Sheriff Marcino always says, see it, say it, and make the call to Crime Stoppers. For Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers, I'm Trish Rout.
This month, the Lee County Sheriff's Office is cracking down on reckless drivers. Deputies will target high traffic areas, places where complaints are received, and sections where multiple crashes occur. Those areas include Daniels Parkway, part of US 41, and Alico Road.
And with school starting next week, deputies will also be patrolling bus stops and school zones to keep children safe. These patrols are part of a traffic awareness month, and our agency's goal is to educate the public on roadway laws. Our deputies say the most common violations include tailgating, improper lane changing, texting while driving, and speeding.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Live with LCSO. Be sure to watch on Wednesday when we sit down with Sheriff Carmine Marcino for Midweek with Marcino, and another episode on Monday. I'm Julie Martin.
And I'm Nestor Montoya. Have a wonderful weekend.